Yes, men who want to get there without buying rankings or in any other way greasing their way up to the top, but rather doing it by fighting. And here come a couple of opportunities, Troy, in Derrick Jefferson with a big right-hand punch, and Maurice Harris, despite his 9 losses, with a lot of talent. What kind of fight can we expect to see?
Well, you should see a lot of fireworks tonight, mainly because both guys have a big right hand. That's been their bread and butter. However, Maurice Harris is on an uprise, and he'll have to be dealt with because, like you say, he's probably the best 9-loss fighter in the boxing game right now. So Maurice Harris is a guy that is full of confidence. He feels home. He feels loved. Derrick Jefferson, on the other hand, is a guy who's never lost. So he has to be taught how to lose. There's a lot of questions to be answered in a fight like this tonight, and that's why I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, this should be good. Both fighters are already in the ring, Larry, so let's move out to the ring now and get a closer look at 6'6" Derrick Jefferson. There he is.
Derrick Jefferson was a basketball player at a small college when his career was ended by a bullet that happened over a dispute on 25-cent piece of candy that shattered his leg. So at the age of 24, he became an amateur fighter, won a national title, and beat Michael Grant, and turned pro as late as 27.
Quite a contrast to the young man across the ring who turned pro at 17 and paid a heavy price for it with a lot of early losses. Here's a closer look at Maurice Harris.
Well, he was actually 16, Jim, when he turned pro, and had only had a few amateur fights. He needed to make some money. In the last 10 fights, he's only lost once, and that was a highly disputed decision to Larry Holmes. He has sparred both with Roy Jones and many rounds with Lennox Lewis.
In fact, more than 100 rounds sparring with Lewis before taking this fight on 5 days' notice. And logically enough, Harris says, hey, if I can stand in with Lewis, why would I worry about Derrick Jefferson? Tail of the tape for the battle between Jefferson and Harris. And just as Harris gives up a lot of size and weight to Lewis, so too will he be giving it up here. An 8-year age advantage for Harris. The height difference, 1 inch. Jefferson listed here as 6'5". He says he's 6'6". Reach equal at 80 inches, and the 35-pound weight advantage for Derrick Jefferson. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Jim, this is important. Tonight's fights will be scored using a new scoring system called the 10-point majority scoring system. And, Jim, real quick, as I see it, the way the fight is scored hasn't changed, but the way the 3 scores are totaled has been greatly upgraded. In this new system, you know, we take a consensus of the 3 scores. We evaluate a majority of the judges' scores. We come up with 1 score. So it's a lot fairer, and it should be a big improvement. Back to you, Jim.
All right, thank you, Harold. Let's go up to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official introduction.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Convention Center on the Boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey, for an evening of all-star professional boxing on HBO's Boxing After Dark. Under the promotion of Cedric Kushner Promotions, in association with Top Rank Incorporated, Fight Night, and Bally's Park Place in Atlantic City, as well as Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, this Bud's for you. Your matchmaker is Ron Scott Stevens. Tonight's bouts are under the auspices of the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, the commissioner in attendance, Larry Hazard Sr. All bouts are scored under a 10-point majority scoring system. The standing 8 count and 3 knockdown rules are not, repeat, not in effect. Ring officials assigned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. Your ringside physicians are Dr. Dominic Coletta, Dr. Jordan Garrison, Dr. Louis Sabatini, and Dr. Blair Bergen. Your timekeeper this evening is the Honest Art Spell. And counting for the knockdowns at the bell, the alternate referee, Eddie Cotton. This is your first contest of the evening. It is scheduled for 10 rounds, heavyweights. Your judges at ringside are, from Plainfield, New Jersey, Eugene Grant, from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Alan Rubenstein, and from Kearney, New Jersey, Paul Venti. Your referee for this event, from Margate, New Jersey, the sensational Steve Smoger. Introducing now the principals. First, in the red corner to my left, wearing the red trunks with the blue and white trim. He weighs in at 211 pounds. His professional record reads 16 victories, 9 defeats, 2 draws, and 9 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Newark, New Jersey, introducing Maurice Harris. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, gold accessories. He weighs in at 246 pounds with a professional record that reads 21 victories, no defeats, 1 draw, and 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Detroit, Michigan, introducing Derrick Jefferson. 10 rounds, heavyweights.
All right, gentlemen, we're giving you instructions at the weigh-in. I want you to obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, and respect the bell. Touch him up. Touch him up. Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
Harris started his career 11 years earlier than Jefferson. Jefferson is the bigger, stronger man. Which is more important?
I think experience will be the most important factor here tonight.
Meaning that you think that Maurice Harris's dossier of experience, not just in the ring, but in sparring with fighters like Roy Jones and Lennox Lewis, is going to stand him in good stead here?
Well, it does stand him in good stead. Actually, it puts him in a better position because he's seen the best of the best in action right in front of him. But you can't put the heart in a guy, and you can't put the courage, and you can't put the will to go 10 rounds or 12 rounds in a guy.
Well,
quick left hook by Harris.
3 good shots by Harris. Jefferson responds by jumping right in. That's supposed to be his greatest attribute. He's a real athlete. He's real eager. Has a good attitude. We'll see how good his chin is.
One of those shots did hurt him, and he's walking too forward. And he's walking forward too straight up right now to come at Maurice. If Maurice continues to hit him with this straight right hand, one of them is going to hurt him sooner or later.
2 real wise old heads in the corners for these fighters. Derrick Jefferson has been working for the past couple of years with Bill Miller, who used to train James Toney, trained a cruiserweight titleist named Lindell Holmes, a guy who isn't as big name as some of the other trainers in the sport, but does a great job. Likewise, Tommy Parks in Maurice Harris's corner is somebody who really knows the ins and outs of the sport. And now Jefferson, who got clocked early by Harris's left hook, is coming back with some big shots of his own.
He's throwing some good body shots on the inside. He's doing very good body work. And Lindell Holmes, coincidentally, Jim, was a super middleweight champion.
Super middleweight, excuse me. 168-pounder.
Right. A superb 168 pounder.
What did I say? I called him a cruiserweight?
Yeah.
This is very good
Sorry,
action
Lindell.
for big men. Give and take. Go, both of them going for it.
Both of them throwing bombs.
So what about the giant weight difference here? I mean, Jefferson, 35 pounds heavier than Maurice Harris. If they trade shots, it has to be to Harris's disadvantage, Roy.
No, boxing is different when it comes to these guys because Maurice is a big puncher for his weight. What's going to make a difference is when they're inside pushing and grinding. That's where the weight will make a difference. That'll weaken Maurice a little bit more than it will Jefferson because Jefferson's the bigger man.
Bout is scheduled for 10 rounds. Jefferson says that the biggest confidence builder for him was to win a tough split decision over the course of 10 rounds with Obed Sullivan. That was bigger to him than his second round knockout of Burt Cooper. Harris, of course, recently stepped up in class with an easy 10-round decision over Jeremy Williams. Another fight which he took on relatively short notice. That time he had 10 days to get ready. This time only 5.
Every time Harris has hit Jefferson, Jefferson has jumped right back in his face.
Mouthpiece, baby, I got it.
Keep your head moving. Keep your head moving. Put it inside. You're doing good. Every chance you get. Yeah, give him that. Every chance you get. You go left.
Sit back and relax, sir.
Every chance you get, you can lift up to the body, okay?
work his body. He's just trying to relax and go 10. Drop it with the left hand. He's dropping it every turn. Drop it with the left hand. Keep that hand up. That's how he will hit with the right hand. That's right. Keep that hand up. That left hand him up the whole night. Do not rush in with that left to the body.
Harris, a good long leaping left hand that should not land on an experienced fighter, Roy.
Well, experience is what Harris has over Jefferson, but Jefferson is showing good hard work, which can make up for experience sometimes.
Jefferson's career, coming off of football and basketball and taking up boxing relatively late, mirrors that of Michael Grant. Far more celebrated, much better known at this point. And Jefferson had a win over Grant, along with a win over Lawrence Claybay back in the amateurs.
There again, it seems as though his hard work is what made up for his lack of experience.
He has determination. By CompuBox numbers in round number 1, Jefferson landed 13 of 68 and Harris 13 of 34. So an equal number landed, but Jefferson threw twice as many punches.
That's a sign of Maurice Harris being economical because he has experience, and Jefferson using the hard work to make up for it.
Let him out, Mo. Let him out.
A very smart thing that Jefferson is doing is going to Maurice Harris's body. Harris should go to Jefferson's body every chance he gets.
Oh, sizzling left hook by Jefferson, and Harris goes down.
5, 6, 7.
Those body shots helping to set up the left hook and the knockdown. Harris turns and mouths something to Roy Jones, trying to indicate that he's okay, but Derrick Jefferson with a big opportunity. Minute 21 still to go in round 2.
Does Jefferson have the experience to know how to exploit that knockdown and a dazed Harris?
Maybe he does, but the thing is for Jefferson not to punch himself out, because punching himself out is the biggest danger that he's at right now. But he's smart.
The body very nicely.
He's looking for an opportunity to go to the body and set something up. And that's a good way to finish. Uppercut landed. Harris goes down again.
And he doesn't look like he's going to make it, but here he comes again. He is hurt seriously.
Yeah, he's badly hurt, and those body shots are making it even worse.
Steve Smoger is going to let Harris have a chance to continue. 30 seconds left. And down goes Jefferson on a Harris right hand.
Left himself open, trying to finish the show, and Harris, showing his own grit, gets him.
That's that experience.
What a comeback by Harris in the closing seconds of the round.
It's more than experience. We're seeing guts, spirit.
Harris almost went down again.
He's out. He's out again.
Held him up. And the round comes to a close.
That's the best heavyweight round we have seen since when? Bout and Holyfield, maybe.
A long time. Well, I saw plenty of people on the far side of the ring who were waving for Steve Smoger to stop the fight after the second knockdown. He didn't do so, and it turned out to be a good call when Harris knocked Jefferson down himself.
Steve Smoger's a very smart, experienced referee.
These guys did some damage in that round.
Well, now we're going to see who's in great condition, who has recuperative powers. Here's the first knockdown of Harris as he comes up with a huge left hand. Harris learned how to fight in the School of Hard Knocks, losing all 7 of his fights, losing 7 of his 8 fights before he was 20 years old, and he has shown that he has learned from the School of Hard Knocks.
The way Harris got caught is he relaxed after he punched.
Harris using the uppercut there to help set up a right hand that lands. Jefferson grabbing and holding.
Pull out and sit down.
Vicious shots by Jefferson. The left hook landed.
Jefferson is just a force in the ring.
Right.
He may not have all the skills in the world, but he just wants it.
I'll tell you what one advantage of his is right now. When they come together, there you see Maurice's head is dead still. Jefferson continuously moves his head left and right. Therefore, it's harder for Maurice Harris to land a punch against Jefferson than it is for Jefferson to land against Mo.
Good left hook to the body by Harris in that sequence. Jefferson committing to every punch upstairs. Trying to make every one the finishing blow. Good left hook to the body again by Harris.
You hit me and I'll hit you.
It would appear that Tommy Parks urged Harris between rounds to try to get to Jefferson's body and sap some of his power. Right hand shot lands for Harris. Jefferson keeps on coming.
And Jefferson has a humongous heart.
This is what we're looking for in the new heavyweight crowd. Guys who are hungry to win.
Oh, that hurt his body very bad. But he comes right back again.
Harris has landed 3 sizzling left hooks to the body in this round, and every one of them has been a telling blow.
He has to be careful with that shot, though. That's what enabled him to get hit with a left hook, because his head is straight up when he's throwing that body shot sometimes.
Harris hiding the right behind his shoulder and then trying to explode in the face of Jefferson. Jefferson, who had the reputation as a right-hand puncher coming in, has shown you that his left is just as dangerous.
If not more dangerous.
Step. Hands up.
Oh, and he's out.
Uppercut. Vicious uppercut by Jefferson. Harris wobbling again. That uppercut landed so flush, you wonder how Mo stayed up.
Give me a wash. Give me a quick
Boy,
wash. Come on.
I sure thought he was out.
Well, I think Harris is getting a break here. I don't know if he spit that mouthpiece out to give himself time.
No, he got that mouthpiece knocked out.
But he is getting a real break here.
Tremendous break. In the closing seconds of round number 3, with Harris wobbling and in trouble, he gets a chance to wait for a clean mouthpiece. And who knows how critical a role that played in helping Harris to survive the round.
Look at him. Always saw that man come out today. Watch a little. Listen.
Mouthpiece.
Watch your foot. That's the way to work, my boy. Listen, Maurice. Inside. Ice pack. Sponge. Maurice.
Okay? Ice pack on his back. Freeze him a little bit. Drink this. Freeze it.
Look here, big man. You can take this fight over and put some punches together. Okay. Not one at a time. Put some punches. All right.
Just fine. Yeah. We need to see combinations. When you get him hurt, little small short shots, they'll stop it.
Put them together.
You got him hurt, man. The boy, you taking his heart.
This is in round 2 as Jefferson was coming in to try to finish Harris and walked into a punch. Well, it was more of a slip than a punch, more of a push than anything that directly knocked down. That was in the 3rd round.
No, I think that left hook was a good punch coming in that knocked Jefferson down. But Jefferson landed a beautiful uppercut in that last round,
which sent the mouthpiece flying into row 7. 4th round begins. From the early action in this one, you suspect that the Harold Letterman scorecard and the official scorecards will be academic. Hard to see how this is going to go the distance, the way they're flailing away in there.
Well, I tell you what, because Jefferson has such good punching power, that weight is beginning to be a factor too. He should be able to take Maurice's punch a little bit better than Maurice can take his.
Harris came into the fight totally dismissing Jefferson. He said that he has nothing that he hadn't seen before, didn't respect him, couldn't find anything good to say about it. I think
it
he might
might be
have
one of the first times in the sport that the guy with 9 losses thought that the unbeaten guy was unworthy of facing him in the ring. But that's the kind of guy Harris is.
Well, that's why you never underestimate anybody, though.
little fatigue showing here.
Jefferson trying to pound that uppercut again. Harris sticks a left hook in Jefferson's face. Jefferson keeps coming for the moment, then backs up.
He seems like he's hurt.
That was very strange.
His instinct when he's hurt is to move forward, which is what you look in any fighter.
Mouthpiece gone again. I think that's Harris's mouthpiece again.
It is.
Yeah, because Jefferson's wearing a black one, isn't he?
Yep. Right there is when Maurice gets caught. Throwing that left hook, his head is straight up, and Jefferson knows how to time it.
This is a proper moment for Smoker to get the mouthpiece back into Harris's mouth.
Oh, you got to bite down, baby. You got to bite down. I know. You got a better piece for him? Put it in there. Okay, baby, come on. Time, baby.
Now round 4 resumes after the second episode of Harris getting a break to restore his mouthpiece. And this time, if anybody benefited, it might have been Jefferson.
Jefferson throws good punches on the inside. He has a beautiful uppercut that's very powerful. A good body shot.
Jefferson was so excited about the opportunity to fight on HBO. He said he'd be walking through a wall if necessary to win this fight because he wants to fight on HBO from now on.
Right, that's me. Come on.
He's put a lot into it in the first 4 rounds, but Maurice Harris has survived it.
Right, don't punch, don't punch.
So will this evolve into a boxing match that favors Harris's quicker hands? Or will it remain the kind of slugfest that Jefferson wants it to be?
Good round, good round. Put your legs out. That's a good round. Breathe deep for me. Breathe deep. Now you're hitting him with the hook all day. You're hitting him with it all day. He's trying to counter you with nothing but right hand. Straight right or right uppercut. You're doing right by just freeze him a little bit, go in, and then you let him, you rough him up in there. You continue to rough him up in there. Breathe deep on him and you clinch it, okay? Step one to the side. And bang him to the body with that good left hook you got.
Tell me, can he bite down a little harder?
Rinse him again, rinse him again. Bite down a little harder. Bite down a little harder. That's all right. Bite down a little harder on the mouthpiece, okay? Yeah. Mouthpiece. Breathe deep. One deep breath, deeper. Come on. Oh, she's too slick for this kid. That's all he's looking for. Just freeze him. Just freeze him and feint him.
Round 5 begins. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 4 of a scheduled 10?
Jim, I tell you, I got a 3-1, 39-37 Derrick Jefferson. I get the first round to Maurice Harris. I thought he landed the cleanest shots. And certainly he came back and he hurt Derrick Jefferson at the end of the second round. So I called it 10-9 as opposed to 10-8. You know, I tell you, Maurice Harris is a very, very slick guy. And Derrick Jefferson is throwing those punches so hard, I think his arms are starting to tire, Jim. He's one of these guys with big muscles, big shoulders, and he uses a lot of energy to throw a punch.
Harris landing a straight right and a left hook.
I scored the second round at 10-8. One knockdown canceled another, but that still left Derrick Jefferson with a knockdown, which would have given him a 10-8 round.
Yeah, I tell you what, this weight is beginning to be more and more of a problem, too.
Come on.
Well, I think he's not giving Harris a chance to establish the kind of nice rhythm that a boxer, puncher like him wants.
Well, that's what he has to do because he's the most inexperienced of the two guys, so he has to make it a hard working fight for Harris. If he lets Harris do what he wants to do, that's what's going to happen. He can't allow Harris to do that if he wants to win this fight. He has to not let Harris stay there and get off as he pleases.
Oh, good right hand.
Great right hand flushed by Harris. Jefferson walked right through it.
Don't punch, don't punch. Step.
A lot of that is because of the weight differential.
Exactly. So as good as Maurice Harris is, boy, I'm wondering if we'll ever see a fighter under 220 pounds win the heavyweight title again. Good left hook to the body by Harris. Jefferson, 245-pounder, ripping with the uppercut.
Yeah, a fighter under 220 pounds can win the heavyweight title again. And Harris is not out of this fight yet.
Oh, no, he can win it.
Step out, man. Step out.
It's just going to take a lot of digging down because Jefferson is a good fighter and he's a big fighter.
Don't punch, don't punch. Step out, man. Step out.
Harris was willing to trade with Jefferson back in round 1. But after the fireworks in round 2, Maurice has satisfied himself to land one punch at a time and then get out of the way ever since then.
Well, he learned to respect Jefferson's power.
Step back, hands up, guys.
Round 5 comes to a close. Maurice Harris got his shot to beat Jeremy Williams a few months ago when Hasim Rahman dropped out of the Williams fight, or actually refused to sign a contract to fight Williams. A lot of people were startled by that. Rahman has bided his time. Tonight he'll be fighting Oleg Maskayev. A couple of pretty good-sized heavyweights. We talked about the weight, Larry. What about the height factor in the heavyweight division?
We're seeing bigger and bigger and heavier men in the heavyweight division. The Klitschko brothers from Ukraine are starting to get noticed. Mount Whitaker, who was supposed to be here tonight. Michael Grant, Derrick Jefferson, 6'5", Lewis 6'5", Galata, Savarese at 6'4". 6'4" has now become commonplace. 230 to 240 is commonplace in the heavyweight division. These are big, strong, athletic fighters.
Limiting the opportunities for a great light heavyweight champion to do what so many great light heavyweight champions have done in the past, move up to the heavyweight division. It was one thing when Bob Foster and Archie Moore were moving up to fight 210-pound fighters. It's quite another thing, Roy, for somebody like you at 175 to consider trying to fight a 245-pounder.
Yeah, you're right. Especially at 5 foot 11 inches.
Doesn't make enough sense. CompuBox numbers through the 5th round. Total of 145 punches have been landed, and only a handful of them were jabs. This is a power shot exhibition. Jefferson throwing far more punches than Harris. In fact, more than 100 more through the first 5 rounds. So in terms of activity, the fight has belonged to Jefferson. Harris has been slightly the more accurate puncher. Pace of the fight slows as both fighters have gone to the body enough in the early going to wear the opponent down somewhat. Hard right hand to the body there by Jefferson.
And Jefferson is slowly but surely trying to wear Maurice Harris down now. Maurice's arms seem heavy, and he seems like he doesn't want to work much because I think his arms are a little tired.
Yeah, he's trying to slow the fight down.
Right hand shot landing for Jefferson there. Harris has taken a lot of leather in this fight. Saw Maurice double up on the jab a moment ago. It could have been a big weapon for him if he got it going and boxed behind it. But Jefferson ended that with his power punches early, and now Harris goes down again.
It was a left hook inside on the ropes.
He won't expect his time.
Hey, no, all right, baby. We made it. We made the count, baby. We made the count. We made the count.
Harris comes in with his hands down. Jefferson makes him pay with a leaping left. 30 seconds left, and you wonder if Mo Bata can get out of the round.
Here he comes back.
Harris showing gumption with that left hook to the body, and he lands a left hook.
Oh,
and now Jefferson wobbles again.
Can Jefferson come back? Can he stay on his feet?
Oh, that's it.
Oh, what a left hook shot. No count necessary.
Derrick Jefferson, I love you.
Oh, my gosh. Roy, what a shot.
What a shot. Same thing. That left hook, Derrick Jefferson kept timing Maurice's left hook because Maurice's left hand stays straight up in the air when he throws the left hook. And Jefferson timed that from round one. And once the fight got late and it got slow in the fight, you knew he would catch Maurice again with that left hook.
This was one of the sizzling knockout punches of recent years in the heavyweight division. Derrick Jefferson ripping the night apart with a left hook to separate Maurice Harris momentarily from his senses, and we hope only momentarily. Mo talking now to those around him. At least 2 doctors on the scene. And Jefferson trying to catch his breath from the sensational action in that fight.
You know, we think that Harris is fine. He's nodding. He's answering the doctor's questions. And I have to tell you, this is just one of the best heavyweight fights we have seen in this decade. Jefferson, even though he is 31 years old, has shown such fierce determination that we are going to see more of him, and perhaps much more of him.
Now, here's a look at the first knockdown, and you saw the left hook that started it all. Jefferson stepping in with Harris against the ropes and pounding that left hook to the face.
And he knew how to close the show, Roy. He went to the body when nothing else was open, and that left hook was just good night.
And just as I said, he timed Maurice's left hook. Watch Maurice's left hook come back because he knew Maurice was straight up throwing the left hook, and there it was.
And he was hurt, Jefferson.
Yeah, he was hurt.
He was hurt.
Good night, Maurice. Jefferson is a power puncher. And that left hook is a weapon.
A big weapon.
Now remember, the guy who just got knocked out by Derrick Jefferson came into this fight off 100 rounds of sparring with Lennox Lewis. The 4th time that he has spent a training camp with Lewis. Maurice Harris is Lewis's #1 sparring partner, and Harris was, if anything, overconfident coming into the fight, figuring if I can stand in against Lennox, why would I worry about Derrick Jefferson? Now he knows.
Never underestimate an opponent.
The applause is for Maurice Harris getting up. Dr. Dominic Coletta finally satisfied that Harris was good enough to make it. And now let's go to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 52 seconds of the 6th round. The winner by a knockout and still undefeated, Derrick Jefferson.
Everybody in Detroit watching this fight. I can't think of a name by law, y'all. Pete. Down there in Riceboro, Georgia. Big O. Lord, right.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice hand for a really talented effort?
Final punch stat numbers from CompuBox. Total punches, 98 out of 302 for Jefferson, almost all of them power shots. Harris likewise throwing mostly power shots and landing 79 out of 167. The big difference in the bout, the outlandish punching power, at least what was displayed here tonight was outlandish, of Derrick Jefferson, who time after time stood toe-to-toe with Maurice Harris in the middle of the ring, matched his power against that of Harris, and made it work. And Larry, that was something to watch.
Yeah, and we will see more of Derrick Jefferson. You know, we've been talking about the young heavyweights out there, the heavyweights who are hungry, who want to make something of their lives, who want something they don't have, instead of like some of the more recognizable heavyweights who are defending something they already have.
Yeah, knowing the politics of the division, you just hope that wasn't the kind of performance that will delay Jefferson's ascent to the top instead of accelerating it.
Well, he showed enough vulnerabilities that there will be people out there who will be willing to take their chances.
All right, we'll have a look back at this fight again at the end of the evening. And Roy Jones, let's just take a moment to reflect on what Derrick Jefferson did. Larry talked about the weaknesses that he showed. How much work does he have to do to get ready to fight even better fighters than Maurice Harris?
Well, he doesn't have much further to go. He's really looking good. He showed a lot of patience tonight. He had Maurice a few times, but he didn't go punch himself out. He showed a lot of power, which is what you like to see in a heavyweight, and he showed a great amount of determination. You love the determination factor.
And he showed one of the best left hooks to have been seen in the heavyweight division since a leaping Floyd Patterson knocked out Ingemar Johansson in their second fight nearly 40 years ago. Well, next up, Hasim Rahman and Oleg Maskayev, two good fighters with a tough act to follow. Which athlete will get the best of that one? Right now, let's look ahead to some other sports programs coming up on HBO.
2 weeks from tonight, tune in to HBO for more heavyweight boxing. Up-and-coming Michael Grant, hoping to become the next contender for the heavyweight throne, takes on always controversial Andrew Galata in a scheduled 12-round bout. December 4, Boxing After Dark returns with junior middleweight champ Fernando Vargas. He'll be back in the ring for the first time since his July battering of Raul Marquez. That's December 4, Vargas against Ronald Winky Wright. And tune in November 6.